Yo, 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 welcome in, No Maniacs. Welcome to the show. This is Nomad Live, all Bears, all the time, in conjunction with Sports Zone Chicago and the SuperBack. Shawn Sierra. Hey, man, appreciate you, No Maniacs, for showing up. And right off the top, I want to apologize for yesterday and the technical difficulty we ran into with StreamYard. That got a little bit out of our control, a whole lot of bit out of our control, and we want to apologize for the inconvenience of yesterday. But hopefully we made it up for you guys today. And our very special guest, as you can see on the bottom of there, we are privileged and pleased to have Kellen Davis, former tight end of the Chicago Bears. And I just want to thank you again, Kellen, for agreeing to come on the show. I just want you to know off the top, man, there is a studio full of they just love you guys, man. These people can't get enough of former Bears, man. As you probably know, when you come around the city, man, they just love you guys, man. I know they appreciate having you here, man. So thank you again for coming.
No, thanks for having me on, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Man, the love is real. We feel the same way here on the panel, man. We love having you here, man. I just feel privileged to have you here and be able to talk to you. But right off the top, you played 8 seasons. I think span, let me see, 579 in passing yards, 13 TDs, 53 receptions. You played for us, played for the Browns, the Seahawks, Giants, and Lions. You came in 2008?
Yeah, I was in 08 to 16.
How was that, man? How was that rookie year? Was it unique, or was it, looking back on it now, how was that rookie year? Was it rough on you?
No, I mean the learning curve of, getting into a real pro style offense was, it was a little steeper than I expected. But I think I walked into a really good situation, like I knew I felt it at the time, but, spending more time in the league, I realized like how special that the locker room was, and especially like some of the older heads that were, around and were really helpful to, us younger players coming on the team.
That's right. You took me right where I wanted to go, because I'm a former player, not in NFL. I played college, as far as college. But the things that stick with me and the things that are strong in my memory is always the locker room, the camaraderie, the brotherhood and bonds that are built there, and those lifelong connections that you make. I know that's the thing that I miss the most about the game. I love playing the game, but those types of things I think stick with people. How do you feel about that, looking on the other side of your career?
Yeah, man, I miss the homies, bro. Like it's, you day in, day out with people, and I think it's one of those things where it's like especially once you get to the league, you're in such a unique experience with, so few other people that like, that shared experience kind of brings you together. And, like the closer the locker room is, in my opinion, the better the team.
In Chicago, who's the one guy that you're most connected with that
me and Matt Forte, we've been bros since before the draft, actually.
Oh, my God, man, I love Matt Forte as running back. You gotta help us out, man. Help me get him on the show, man, because I love to sit here. They would love to see Matt Forte on the show. I absolutely love it.
See what's up,
man. I would appreciate it, man. We'd love that. Can you tell me really quickly about that Super Bowl year? Because I think that was the last time a rookie quarterback won a Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Like it was my second really, really good season. When I think was it 2010, we went 13-3-2. Yeah. And so we did the same thing in Seattle. And then we ended up, able to win the NFC championship and then go on to the Super Bowl and get the win. But yeah, those 2 seasons are very similar for me. Like just as far as like how the team came together, kind of the vision of where everybody was wanting to go and everybody's pointing in the same direction, because that's kind of that's kind of difficult to get to sometimes. But it was a special year, man. The fans in Seattle are awesome too. And it was a really good time. I enjoyed that experience. I enjoyed, Coach Carroll too.
Did you guys know if there was special juice right from the beginning with Russell Wilson? Did you guys know you had something special coming right out of the gate?
Yeah, it wasn't just Russell. I mean, it was the whole team. And, being 100% honest, the defense carried the team.
Yeah, I agree. That's Shawn. I saw you ready to ask him something, but I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. So coming into the league, you how was it your first couple of years with the Bears? I know you had Greg Olsen for a year, and then Mike Martz figured I don't need a tight end who can catch the ball and run. So and had him traded away. How's that situation with him, Greg Olsen, and Cutler? Because I want to hear about Cutler. Because Cutler, a lot of people give Cutler a bad rap. Dude, Cutler's one of my favorite. He might be my favorite quarterback. Him and Justin Fields, the Chicago Bears quarterback of all time. I love me some Jay Cutler.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first couple of years are like, you just still trying to kind of get your footing, figure it out, and kind of get into the, I wouldn't say the swing of things, but kind of like the groove, like finding what works for you. And
right.
Like you go from college where you're all together all the time, everything's scheduled, like all your workouts are together, everything's set up for you.
They got you on lock in college. Yep,
they own you, so you there. As opposed to the NFL, where most of the things are up to you and how you want to proceed and do things. And so, like, I really just looked to the old heads and kind of emulated, kind of mirrored what the stuff that they were doing until I figured it out for myself. And Jay was that boy has a cannon for an arm, a cannon. I have never seen anybody have a bigger arm than Jay. And he was a different cat, but we got along pretty good. And it was fun. It was interesting playing with Jay. I'll tell you that.
How did it feel? So talk to us about some of the stuff off the field. Because now, like, I don't know your personal background, but now you're showered with a whole bunch of money. You're what, 22, 23 years old, in the league. You got a whole bunch of money. You got a whole bunch of free time. You got a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? How did that affect you? And how did, because we never heard anything about Kellen Davis. We didn't hear any Lance Briggs leaving the car on the Kennedy stories. So how did that affect you? And why were you able to, I guess, navigate it so well? Because when other people may not have been able to do so.
Man, let me tell you, I'll tell you a story real quick. So after I signed and we did the rookie mini camp or whatever, and my contract was finalized and all that crap, and everything was good to go, I was at the mall with the homies, and my signing bonus came through. I happened to go to the ATM to get some cash out. I saw my balance, and I said, "Ooh!"
I like that meme, that little emoji,
like it's different, bro. I grew up poor. We didn't have anything, and so yeah, that was a moment for me, bro. I was like, man, I gotta go out and earn this.
You got 8 years of it, man. I'm interested to know. Because I heard you get up, man. How's the body holding up post football, man? How you doing? With everything working, and you ain't having any problems, are you?
How it goes, man. So I got my, I played for 9 years. I finished my last couple up with the Jets, and my last snap was, I snapped my arm, and so I've had 6 surgeries on it since. My elbow went the wrong direction a long ways, and yeah, so that was it, but it's one of those things. The game gives and it takes away, and 98% of people that play don't get to choose when they're done. That's just how it goes.
All right,
you get hurt, or people stop calling. One and two.
Let me ask you a question then, real quick, then, because I just want to hear your answer, and I'll tell you my thought. Would you do it all over again?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anyone. My guy is in the chat right now, Junior, one of my former offensive linemen, and he's got back problems and stuff. Every single person that I've met that had played the game, regardless of injury, regardless of post-career situations, you know what I mean? They would do it all over again. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a big give and take. I mean, you're putting your body at risk every day. But with that risk comes a reward. And for me, it's like now, I've got a family, I've got 3 kids, got a wife to take care of, and I'm able to do that still, and not really have to worry about money, which is great. And that allows me, like, I look at my career as like, I had a lot of success and was able to do a lot of cool things while I was playing. I met a lot of cool people. But now on the flip side, like, I get to spend time with my kids, like, more so than, like normal people do. Because, I don't have to go out and do stuff. I can stay home with my kids and I get to be part of their day to day. And like that to me is priceless.
So that's interesting. How old are you little ones?
8, 6, and 3.
Got some boys running around?
Got 2 boys.
My
little girl, my 8-year-old, she's in her second season of flag. She's playing with the boys. She had she had two touchdowns last Saturday.
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
she's probably
What's she
running.
playing? What position she playing?
So I always run her at running back, and then on defense, she plays edge for me.
Oh,
So
she's
coaching
Iron
too,
Man.
huh?
Oh, she nice. She nice at getting the flags, man. I didn't know how, first season, I didn't know how it was gonna go, but she get in there.
She's probably running rough shots over the boys, man. She's taking over the house, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's doing her thing. It makes me happy,
That's great, man. All right, hey, you guys want to ask him anything? Go right ahead. We got a Canuck up at the top. My guy Kedz at the top from Canada, and my guy the Bishop down there at the bottom there. Go
Bishop,
ahead.
I'll throw to you. What do you got?
You muted, Bishop.
You muted,
Oh,
Papa.
yeah.
Can't hear you, bro.
All right, I'm good now. Sorry about that. I got a question for you. With the evolution of the tight ends now, what is your thoughts of the effect the tight ends have on the game today?
I feel like the tight end can have a very unique effect on an offense because it allows you to put in personnel groups and do the same things that you could out of 4 wide receivers that you can with a tight end that's even inline sometimes and produce the same results, but also be stronger and more suited to the run game at the same time. Like I think like a guy like George Kittle, who is a really good blocker and a really good receiver. I mean, he opens up a lot of plays for that playbook just because of the skill set that he brings. So I think, in the right offense, tight end can be a game changer.
Okay.
Okay.
So you played behind Greg Olsen. What was it like being in a tight end room with Greg?
Oh, Greg talks a lot, bro. Greg talks a lot. Like he broadcasting now. That suits him well.
Perfect place for him.
Perfect place for Greg. Greg's a good dude, man, but he talks a lot. But we it was me and Greg and Dez up in that room, and we had a lot of fun, man. It was good stuff, and like I think one of the good things too was everybody had a good football IQ, and we were kind of on the same page as far as prepping for games and stuff like that. So it was a good time, man. And our position coach was really good too.
And
go ahead. Sorry, no, man.
No, I was just gonna because we only have 30 with them, and I wanted to get to this roster stuff real quick. And just before we put up any overlays, just on the surface of what has happened, who we signed, the additions versus what the known knowns about who and what Green Bay has and what Detroit has. How do you think with the additions we stack up before we take a good look at the roster and go by position and actually see if we have an advantage or not? How do you see it just right now on the surface?
I think right now I would say that the Lions have the advantage just due to their success last season, and they're bringing a lot of those same guys back. I think success breeds more success if you are able to keep the same guys in the building. You become accustomed to that. But I think, for Chicago, the thing is like to plug and fill some of those holes on the team, like interior D-line, edge rusher, O-line. We took care of the secondary a little bit, which is great. Shore that up. But yeah, I mean, like in my mind, being a football player, I'm thinking O-line and D-line start in the trenches, where the game's really played.
All right, Shawn, you got anything you want to ask?
Yeah. Talk to me about Lovey. How's it playing under him? He seems like, obviously we only get the media Lovey. We only get the robotic Lovey at times. How was he behind closed doors? And it just seemed everybody would run through a brick wall for him. Is that true? Because that's what it looked like for us from outside looking in. But we never got to see the real Lovey, obviously, like you had. Did he ever get loud? Does he curse at you guys, yell at you guys? Because he just seemed like super, super chill.
Lovey's that guy. First and foremost, Lovey is that dude. I've had the pleasure to play for a lot of good coaches, but I think the most respect I have for the way coach has conducted themselves is Lovey, and just like his ability to lead by example, and also like he allowed the team to be the team together and kind of police ourselves, but at the same time we respected him to the point where nobody would ever cross the line or do anything detrimental to the team, just because like of the respect that he garnered. And he like it's crazy because like he didn't do anything special, but everybody felt that way, like it was just like a leadership thing that he just has. I don't know how to explain it, but Lovey is he cared about his players. He always tried to take care of us, and as soft-spoken as he was, like it's kind of like he says less, so his words count more. Like when he would speak to us and give us advice, and be at practice or pull you aside, pull you into his office and talk to you about stuff. Like I don't know, man. Like I respect the hell out of dude. That's about all I can say, man.
All right, because we only have a few more minutes left. Chris.
Yeah, I just need to ask Kellen one thing, man. It's kind of coach related, because that tight end room, when it was, you and Dez and
Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen, I'm sorry. It seems after Martz came as offensive coordinator.
Y'all just skipped around me to ask the question I was going to ask, but that works out for me. Keep going.
Yeah, it just seemed like, how did you guys feel when Martz came in, and that was almost a death knell of the tight ends in the offense?
Yeah, I mean, when Martz came in, he was an offensive coordinator / head coach in his own mind still, like he still had that head coach mentality, kind of like, no matter who I got on the field, this is my system. This is what we're going to do. This is what you're going to do. If you can't do it, then I'll get somebody else to do it. So that was kind of the thing where, I feel like Mike Martz was a great coach. He was just very stuck in his ways, as far as what it came to schematically for him. And the better teams that I've seen, the OCs typically cater more to the skill set of the players as opposed to the system.
Right. Well, we heard Jay express himself on that nationally televised game. I just wonder if everybody felt that way about Mr. Martz.
He was a lot, man. He was a lot. But, like he got chips on his name too, so it's like, how much can you really say to a guy?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's tough to argue with somebody who's got the hardware to prove it.
That's true. That is true.
Well, so real quickly, man, and while Chris is pulling up, if you can pull up Detroit's offense. So what on the surface, we're gonna play this game with the chat so everybody can get involved.
Oh, and man, and Don Berg's in the building too. This is gonna be a killer episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. What we're gonna do in the chat, you guys, we're gonna ask Kellen. And you guys at the same time. Advantage A, put an A in the chat. Disadvantage D, or tie T. When we go through these position groups, and we're gonna start with quarterback. Kellen, who do you think has the advantage, the rookie or the vet?
So the rookie from
our rookie,
whoever that's going to be.
Well, I don't know who that is, so I'm gonna give that one to Detroit.
I'm right there with you.
Let's just say Caleb is the quarterback, as everybody's just assuming.
I don't know if for me at least, I don't know if the jury's come back with a verdict on him yet. I do like that kid Jaden Daniels. I saw him play a few games.
Yeah, buddy. And I think a lot of people do. Like I have let it be known that I thought he was the best pro-ready quarterback in the draft out of them all, just because he's been under center and played pro-style offense.
Yeah, you never know what they're going to do, though, man. They might surprise everybody, or they might stick to the same.
Man, you know what? I look forward to what happens, man, because I would be pleased either way. But getting a plethora of picks would be great for that number one spot.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like they're trying to trade that pick, so they're going to take a quarterback, and it's one of those franchise-altering decisions. It might mean Ryan Poles' career eventually. Like whether if it goes well, he'll be heralded, as the next great GM. But if it doesn't work out and we end up like another kind of failed Fields situation, which I think Fields is a great player, I think the organization didn't do their job well enough to help him.
I agree with that 100%. But I do believe they're going to have to pry that pick out of Brian Poles' cold, dead hands, probably. But how you think we stack up in the running back department, man? Knowing the addition we just added, Swift, plus we've got.
I like Swift's game. I think he brings a lot, especially as a change up and being the possibility of being a good third down back as well. And I'm not sure how he is on pass protection, but like he can catch the ball, he can run. I think that adds a lot. Gibbs is a special player, on Detroit. He's made some moves. I say we're about probably with the depth and everything. I say we're about dead even on the running backs.
So you're giving that a tie, huh? I partially agree with that. I want to say we took an advantage because they go 2 deep and we go 3 deep. That's the only reason I would. We know what we got for all 3 backs. I'm sure they'll draft somebody in Detroit, but we know what we've got. We've got 3 deep in the running back room. So I'm gonna go with A for an advantage. So you're gonna say T for tie, huh?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, all right. So what do you think about the O line? I know what this is going to be. Absolutely a disadvantage in my department.
Yeah, that's going to have to go a disadvantage. The line's got one of the best lines. I agree with that. I watched them play quite a bit.
Okay, I think that's an easy one. Disadvantage. I'm seeing D's right now. That's clear. I think they've got like if not the best line in the NFL.
It's one of them for sure.
Yeah. So, okay, what about our receiving core with the additions that we made, man? What did up against Detroit, who's got, let me see here. We're looking at Maurice Alexander, Darius Fountain, Antoine Green.
St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown. I mean, Jamison Williams.
He showed up a little bit last year.
Yeah, he came on, man, especially towards the end of the season, man. So what do you think, disadvantage or advantage?
Looking at it, they got 2 top tier guys, but I think the depth and skill at the receiver position in Chicago is probably better, and I wouldn't be shocked if they pick somebody up in the first or second round with one of those picks.
Yeah, I think we definitely have an advantage in the receiver department.
That advantage for sure.
Okay, what about the tight end group? You got to know that you could see their receiving tight end group is, let me see here, Sam Laporta, and I think they re-signed number 89. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. But
they re-signed him. I mean, Laporta's a hell of a player. I don't know much about Wright, but I do like Komet's game, and we signed Everett. I like his game too. I give it advantage to the Bears.
I agree with that. I'd say A. I'm seeing A in the chat too. All right, so let's slide on over to the defensive side of the ball. This should get interesting, man. Chris, if you don't mind. On the surface, we just added Kevin Byard, who I consider one of the top safeties in the league.
He's a baller.
And we've got the additions of TJ last year and Tremaine at linebackers. The front 4. What do you think about our front 4 versus theirs?
Hey, hold on. Let me see all these names. It's small on my screen.
They just added Aleem. Now they got Aleem McNeil. They added DJ Reader.
Well, Hutchinson's a beast.
Hutchinson's a
That's
bomb.
for sure. Yeah, he's a beast out there. And their interior, if I remember correctly, watching the games, is pretty good. Personally, in my opinion, I think that's an area that we need to improve on is, in the trenches there on the D line. So I'm gonna give the advantage to the Lions on that one.
That's hard to argue with, man.
Which is pretty crazy because the year prior, the Lions defense was super suspect, but then last season they did well against the run and the pass.
Yeah, I agree.
They did, but for whatever reason, they still had problems with the Bears. I mean, hell, we owned them for 55 minutes of that first game.
Yeah,
and then so that's the thing. That then again, but as well as anybody, it's not about which team is better. It's about matchups. If you can get the good matchups against a certain team, despite the fact that their talent advantage could be much greater, it doesn't matter if you can exploit a matchup, man.
Bro, we're sitting here arguing about the difference in talent on each side of the ball, bro. The gap in talent in general in the whole league is about like this. So we're splitting hairs, man.
Absolute best players on the planet, man. You are right, man. The difference in talent is definitely hair thin. Just for the sake of time, let's jump over to Green Bay, and offensively, who has the advantage at quarterback?
Well, we currently we don't have a quarterback yet,
so that's an easy one.
You took them to the playoffs. That's an advantage.
So I'd have to agree with that. I'd say experience beats rookie any day of the week until he shows, whoever the quarterback is, shows me that he's ready for this level. I'm gonna have to go with the opposite team, man. I'm gonna say we are at a disadvantage as of now. Now the running back room, Kellen, just got interesting. The guy that's been tearing us up game in and game out when we play the Packers, Aaron Jones, is going over to Minnesota.
Yeah, man, they let him go.
I think that was a huge mistake. I love Josh Jacobs.
I mean, they got Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs can tote the rock, but Jones is like
bear killer.
Yeah, he's a game changer, man. Like, I'm not. I think I'm giving an advantage to Chi-Town on that one. I think that was a big let for them to let him go.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, maybe Josh Jacobs will come on and have one of his best seasons, but other than that, yeah, I think it goes to Chicago.
I have to agree with that, man. I think that was a huge mistake, man. I do think we have the better running back room now. They still have AJ Dillon, of course, but I still think we.
Yeah, AJ Dillon he's a great big bruising back, but he's not a game breaker.
No, this dude just knifed us up, man. Game in and game out, man. I'm not going to miss seeing him in green and gold.
Hell no.
He just went to Minnesota, so he ain't gone that far, man. He just went to Minnesota, so he ain't gone that far. But
no, we're still going to see him twice a year. So there is that.
Yeah, I don't know about that offensive line though. Offensive line in Minnesota ain't like the offensive line in Green Bay. So
he might be a little kind to us, but I think he's going to take out his frustrations against his former team. So go have at it.
I agree with you.
We only have 1 minute. We only have 1 minute with Kellen. Kellen's got stuff he's got to do. So we'll just say, in totality, matching up against the Packers and the Detroit Lions, who they're right, man. We kind of own that team, man. I think we had their number. Who do you think has the better roster of the three teams?
I mean, overall, right now, without us having a truce, knowing who's going to be throwing the ball, I think I have to go with Detroit for right now. But all that can change real quick.
It really can, man. I think, be honest with you, I think Green Bay has a better roster. And I think Detroit, I don't know if they split or Detroit beat them twice. I'm not sure. But I think Green Bay's roster was better than people thought. And I seen them ascend towards the end of the year, and they surprised a bunch of people. They whooped the hell out of the Cowboys, and that was embarrassing for those guys.
Is that really saying anything?
Say that again.
I said, is that really saying anything, man? The Cowboys don't show up in the playoffs, bro.
Dallas with Dallas themselves. It's like Detroit used to Detroit themselves.
What do they call them? They the regular season champs.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Hey, Kellen,
I'm gonna quote that one later on. That's actually real good.
Hey, Kellen,
Keep
man.
that one for you, bro.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you for coming. I really do, man. And I could say that and speak for everybody here. We appreciate you for spending some time with us, man, because you didn't have to do it We're a very small podcast, but I just want you to know how much we love you guys, man. We truly do, man. Everybody in this chat loves and respects you guys. You're going to always receive that anytime you're in the area, man. And I'm not going to let you forget. We got to hook up and get information, man. I need you to hook me up with Matt. They would absolutely love Forte on this show, man. We would love to have him on here and give him his flowers if he can come.
Okay. Yeah. I'll let him know, man. No worries.
Appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of the day, man. Have a good day, man. Tell the kids, pick them up and give them a kiss if they're still small enough, man.
Oh, yeah. They're still small enough. But good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. We'll be talking to you.
Kellen's 6'7". Ain't no way you can't pick up them kids.
All right. Hey, you guys want to return to the roster and break down the roster, or what? What do you guys want to do?
Sure. We didn't touch on. I guess we didn't touch on Minnesota really, so we can finish that off if you want.
All right. Let's just start with Shawn. You over there, man. What do you? Let's go by position, man. What's your thoughts on how we stack up against the quarterback here?
Well, even though they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, right. So
we don't have a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. So, I think that's dead even. Because we don't know who they're going to sign. And so I think in the quarterback position we're dead even, or NA does not apply, not applicable. Huh.
Sam Darnold is QB1.
Yeah, like I said, they don't have a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. We're all good.
Oh man! All right, running back room, Shawn. They've got Myles Gaskin, very underrated running back.
No, hell no, they got Aaron Jones. That's who they got. That's who they got.
Ain't nothing to sneeze at, though, man. Everybody.
I hear you, but Aaron, we weren't worried about AJ Dillon in Green Bay. He did something, but our main thing was to stop Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a freaking stud. But I don't.
Where's the homie who was there last year? Alexander. Who was the running back last year?
Madison. You're talking about Madison.
Alexander Madison. Yeah. He's gone?
Yeah, I think they got signed by. Yeah, I can't remember.
If Minnesota fans don't realize they're in the midst of a rebuild, I don't know what else to say, because they let their main guy go, ran with Madison, and then dumped Madison as quickly as humanly possible for Aaron Jones, who unfortunately, as good as he is, tends to be hurt for about 5 to 8 games a season. So this is gonna. I really hope Ryanpoles is trying to maybe scoop up Justin Jefferson in some capacity, because they're gonna crash and burn real hard this season. Sorry, Minnesota.
So let's work with the chat here. Let's engage with the chat. So we slid on down to the running back position. They have Ty Chandler, Myles Gaskin, and Aaron Jones.
And Madison signed with the Raiders.
Okay, yeah. And so what do you guys say in the chat? Advantage A, disadvantage D, tie T. I'm still going with advantage A.
Bears have the advantage in my book.
Yeah.
What say you, Bishop?
I'm with Shawn.
Okay. Let's look down here at the offensive line. I think we easily have the advantage. You guys let me know in the chat. I say advantage Bears. Offensive line, I think it's kind of bad there. It's not as bad as some you know what? I would say tie.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. They're not bad. I would say tie, because I think we're giving our line too much credit and we don't know yet.
Oh, the mullet's over there now. Dan Feeney went to Minnesota. I didn't even realize. The mullet snuck out the back door.
Oh,
in Minnesota.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Kenny Powers in Minnesota.
And they got Sean's favorite player over there too at the receiver position, N'Keal Harry, the linebacker.
N'Keal Harry, the linebacker.
Sean's on mute, man.
N'Keal Harry, number 13. I see it. I see it. I was like, wow, he's gonna catch a game winner against the Packers.
So they got N'Keal Harry, Lucky Jackson, Tristan Jackson, Justin Jefferson, of course, Malik Niles, who I really thought a lot of in last year's draft. I think he's gonna benefit from. I think he'll benefit this year. Whatever quarterback comes in, Jalen Naylor. I give this advantage. I'd say A, Bears. I think the advantage goes to us. What say you guys?
Yeah, I'd say a slim advantage, but an advantage. I don't think Jordan Addison is ready to compete with either. I think Justin Jefferson can, he would, cancel out by one of them, either DJ Moore or Keenan Allen. But then I don't think Jordan Addison is better than whoever Justin Jefferson balances out. So advantage Bears.
Anybody?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I'm actually going to rephrase and go to a T here. I really like the receivers. Addison's amazing, and there's no question on Justin Jefferson's capabilities. I think they line up very well with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Mind you, so like T with a question mark, you know what I mean? Because Kirk Cousins is gone. I don't know who's gonna get the ball to either one of these guys anymore. So,
Sam Darnold.
Oh yeah, I forgot QB1, Sam Darnold. Oh man, like I say, T with a question mark, man. That's where I'm at.
I'm going to go advantage Bears because I believe that our 1 and 2, we're going to balance out. Like you said, there's going to be a wash when it comes to Jefferson. I just think that we have a bit of an advantage, especially speed-wise, and I just believe that we're going to get the development we need to get out of our receivers this season. So I'm going to go advantage Bears.
All right, man. I think overall we definitely have the advantage in this roster over this roster. I don't think it's a real argument, to be honest with you. I think they should have blew this team up when they got the new GM, but they did not allow them to do that as ownership, and I think they're about to pay the price for that now. And the GM probably is going to lose his job behind it, and that's unfair. But before let's go to a quick station ID right quick, and we'll come back on the other side of that and have some more conversation about this and a little bit more.
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Catch Nomad Live pregame 1 hour prior to kickoff and Nomad at Night postgame. And every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms. And only on the Nomad Network.
That is right, you guys. If you want to pull that overlay down, Chris, it'd be great. That is right, you guys. Please keep up the support. Make sure you subscribe to the Nomad Network and over at Sports Zone Chicago for my guy, Shawn Sierra. Man, keep up the support. You guys have been tearing it up out here, man, and we really appreciate you. Anybody that wants to right now, and we'd appreciate anybody that did it, please make sure somebody share the live content. And if you do, put a thumbs up in the chat so we'll know who you are and we'll shout you out. But just that helps us out a whole lot more when more people share the content. It gets out there to people who don't know that we exist. You know what I mean? It's always a chance somebody out there doesn't know we're here. And so please help us out that way. And if you have not, make sure you hit the like button. And please consider subscribing to each network, man. We would really appreciate that. We're trying to move to 2,000 subs before training camp, and I hope we can get there quicker than we expect. So thank you guys for all the support. You've been awesome. And how about this? OJ is dead.
OJ, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, OJ.
James.
Whoa, that's not how you do that, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, that he did hit that kind of cold in it. Clean that up. And in other news, OJ's dead.
Right, that's cold.
Man, just a little bit slight. I was hoping if we were gonna do this, Chris, I was hoping that you could get some Nordberg clips from
Airplane.
No, you're close. From the same dude though. That Naked Gun. Naked Gun. You're super close.
Actually, I didn't find out about OJ being dead until late.
I thought you meant until today. Nomad just told you. And
I got the call earlier that OJ had checked out, but I didn't have time to really gather up a bunch of OJ material. But rest in peace, Juice, one of the greatest running backs of all time. If you didn't see him play, you missed it.
Chris, I had no idea he was ailing. Did you, man?
Huh?
I had no idea he was ailing. Did you?
No. I saw him do an interview. I think it was this year, and he looked healthy. And
I knew because I have some friends in Vegas that told me about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know OJ was hurting, but there's a segment of the society that is
forever. He's a villain to them. Look,
they're celebrating today. They're celebrating. But
AC Pepe Silva said
it's nothing to celebrate. The man contributed a lot to the game of football, man. And anybody that seems to think that his passing is in any way something to celebratory in regard to what he was accused of, that he again accused of and acquitted of. Hey, I don't sign up for that, man. Rest in peace, Juice.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got rest in peace to Khloe Kardashian's father. That's funny.
That's crazy, man.
Wow.
That's messed up, man.
I can't laugh at nothing like that, bro.
Yeah.
So,
it was opened up though.
In other news, man, they just sent the warrant out for Rashid Rice's arrest, man. He's getting hit with 8 charges, man, and they're threatening to suspend him and, suspend his salary and everything, man. He's got hit with 8 charges, man.
For what?
For everything we've been talking about before. He was racing. He was out there street racing and got into an accident, man. They're going to charge him with
Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna hit him, man. In Texas, man. I'd be scared to do anything wrong if I was in Texas, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well,
Hey, Eddie Murphy told us, man. Eddie Murphy told us. Not in Texas. Don't do it in Texas.
Look, I wouldn't blame it on the state. I'd blame it on unfortunately the young man. That's really sad to hear. Just as far as I'm concerned, really sad to hear when these young guys get a couple of bucks and unfortunately, make, I'd call it a rookie mistake or an amateur mistake. Unfortunately, it is a mistake nonetheless. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's unsightly. It's bad for the football team at the smallest part. But hopefully, I really hope the lesson is starting to be looked at and learned. It really it's great to be rich and have a super fast car, but drinking and driving is not necessary anymore. We're getting to the level where cars will eventually drive themselves, guys. I'm not sure what you're doing out there, but if you have that kind of paper, go buy an autonomous car and just have that baby drive your butt home.
Kedz, you're preaching you're talking to deaf ears, bro. If you're 22, 23, 24 years old with millions, you're gonna get a car. You're gonna want to get, dude. I didn't have.
Bro, I'm saying go buy a dope car with automatic, go buy the dope
100 miles an hour, bro. It doesn't matter if it's automatic or not. They're gonna push that back, dude. I pushed the car 110 on a Mass Pike, bro. I wasn't even rich. I was still in college, dude. So it is what it is,
you
man.
Drinking?
No.
So here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. You're also I've done similar things, but A, I haven't done it while drunk. B, I haven't done it while rich. And when the rich portion comes into play here, you have to recognize A, you could be jeopardizing all of the money that you have. B,
dude,
you can afford not to be in this situation.
You don't think like that. We didn't think like that. I could have killed myself. I was going 100 something.
You didn't have money.
Well, the immaturity. I think what he's saying, kids, is the immaturity trumps all that.
Yes,
and it just does. I mean,
trumps money.
Yeah, immaturity trumps all that. I mean, any sure. I mean, it's just common sense to know you don't. There's some things you don't do, but when you're young, you're stupid, and it comes with the territory, and you have to get older to get that stupid out of you.
And sometimes, cats, all these new cats, the minute they get a couple dollars, man, they want to run out and get a Hellcat. That's the first thing they go buy.
But let me hit y'all with this, man, because I'm down here in Texas. First and foremost, when I moved from Illinois here, it was a major adjustment because, first of all, in Illinois, speed limit is 55. Speed limit on the highways down here is 70 or 70 plus, depending on our toll roads, it's 80. On the highways, it's 70. On our access roads, it's 50, 55. So everybody's moving quick down here anyway. So with that being said, and even at 70, nobody does 70, bro. I mean, it is what it is down here. So everybody's moving down here. You got to remember now, And I used to have a saying when I first moved here is that everybody wants to be Mario Andretti. It's just that everybody's used to driving fast. So I'm not trying to excuse the young man for using poor judgment in the case, but you know, we saw cars moving quick. We don't know to what extent how fast they were truly going. Yes, it deemed that they were racing, you know, but I will say this. If he was a cowboy, he wouldn't be getting any charges.
Hey, they say 55.
Read between that line.
They say 55 is a suggestion in Chicago.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. 55, you got to get your ass, you got to get all the way in the right lane.
On the sidewalk.
You might even have to put your hazards on.
Right.
I mean, it's not even funny, bro. It's not even funny. You're like you're going 55. Like I'll be in the lane. I'll be in the left lane. I'm going 65, and people are in my trunk and flashing their lights. I'm like, damn, dog, I'm doing 65 and in a 55, and man, they walk around, zoom, 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 and they're gone. Dude, they're doing 80. 80, 75 is the minimum on the expressways with no traffic, of course.
I'm glad I live in Mayberry.
Hey, Chris, you want to do me a favor and pull up that 30 visit that we had, man, because I think that's worth conversation, man, because there's a couple guys probably add to that. Okay, about these 30 visits, man. Let's have this conversation, Shawn, Canuck, and the Bishop. You can add J.C. Latham, Chris. You'd be glad to hear about that, man. He came on a 30 visit as well. I think day before yesterday, I believe. So, all right, let's start with you, Shawn, man. What do you see here that intrigues you? Of course, you see everything, but give me a name or two that sticks out and you're glad to see that's on this list.
Zach Frazier. I'm very happy to see that name. I would like a long-term solution at center. Xavier Worthy. I like that name as well. He could be a one-trick pony. All right. And as long as you listen, people complain about receivers, or he doesn't run the full route tree. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. Maybe that's not what you need a specific receiver to do. Right? We didn't have Willie Gault running curls. We didn't have Willie Gault running 5-yard outs. Right? Willie Gault was go, post, corner, or
take
cross
the top off.
Okay, that's all you're doing, Willie. You're going from one side, the right side, the right wide out to the left pylon, left wide out to the right pylon. You're doing a post. You're doing a go. That's all we needed you to do. Okay, and with the receivers that we have, okay, we have Keenan Allen, we have DJ Moore. All right, if you can get the top taken off of defense, like Kedz just said. All right, it stretches that defense where the open spots, the soft spots become much larger. And so now you don't have to worry about finding a small spot in the zone. The spot in the zone, the hole in the zone is so much bigger because safeties have to, as a defensive coordinator, you got to be deeper than the deepest guy. And if you got a guy who's running like Xavier Worthy does, man, that opens up those windows. Those are really, 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 really big and a lot easier for quarterbacks to find, receivers to find, and wide receivers and quarterbacks to connect. So those are the couple of guys that I like. And I mean, I like Latu, you know what I mean? Dallas Turner, I like those guys. I'm more worried about the offense because, again, I still feel we can be okay with DeMarcus Walker. Give me someone on offense who could take the top off. I know we got Travis Scott. He hadn't proven anything yet.
Right.
He hasn't proven anything yet. So, you know what? We're going to keep doing it. We got, what's his name? Velus Jones could take the top off of defense, but he hadn't proven anything yet either.
Right.
So, and you know what? You know what's crazy? If Shanewaldron can utilize those two, imagine those two as slots. We go 4 wides. We go, all right. We go, we got 10 personnel in there. Okay. Imagine those two as slots and running crossing routes, like over routes. So Velus Jones on the left side runs to the right pylon, and Travis Scott on the left side run on the right side, run to the left pylon. They just do a big cross, and how that's going to stretch the defense for DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. I mean, just think if we can use those guys and maximize their speed, how scary that would be.
All right, Canuck, what do you think, man?
Very similar things. And I'm just going to start on Worthy where Shawn left off. And the reason why I like Xavier Worthy a lot is A, speed, but B, return game capability. And that's a shortcoming of this team. Pretty clear and obvious to state that. I think he comes in and fills that hole in a major way, especially with the changes to how the kickoff is going to shift moving forward. For those reasons alone, I'm very interested in an Xavier Worthy. I would have no problems if they picked him up, at some point. And then you just run those three guys, right? Go Velas, take the top off. Didn't work out, hit the bench. Tyler, you go on the next route. Worthy, you go. And these guys are fresh, and you just keep pumping them in. And it would be very interesting to see from an offensive perspective. That guy jumps out to me personally. Defensively, Mr. Chop Robinson, number 44. He's the guy that everybody says is not a fit for the Bears. He doesn't really feel like a Flus guy. He doesn't have the length. He's a little bit raw, and you can go over and around all of these things. But here's what he is. He's a lightning fast edge rusher that you can move around. He's more or less a comp, not a physical comp, but a play comp would be like a Micah Parsons. And you can put him all over the place and do all sorts of different things that we're not doing today. If Montez Sweat is the prototypical defensive end on the other side, you could afford to have something different, a dedicated speed rush on that other side, right? So I'm interested in Chop, and secondarily, the reason why I'm interested in Chop and Worthy is these two particular guys would be the benefit of a trade back case scenario, right? Depending on where they wind up and land, if they did trade out of 9 to a little ways further back, you might be looking at a Chop Robinson. You may be looking at an Xavier Worthy. So that's where that's what jumps out to me.
Bishop, before you go, let me speak to something Ramses Roses said about Cam Kitchens, whether or not he came in on a visit. I haven't heard that, Ramses. I've been looking to see if one of those safeties would come in. I have not heard that yet. If he did, I don't know about it, but I haven't heard that, Ramses. Go ahead, Bishop.
Well, Kitchens has fallen way down, I think, because of his 40 time at the combine, but it might be a mistake on these teams' part because he's a player.
Yep.
Go ahead, Bishop.
Well, before I knew that they actually had Worthy coming to the building for a 30 visit, I was more than impressed. I've watched this young man all season long, and I know he's the truth. The fact that they had him come into the building for a 30 visit, there's one thing he has that you just simply cannot coach, which is, of course, his speed. A guy like that can change your offense and put fear in defenses. And a guy like that, if you have a chance to get him, I say you go get him. And you're hearing this from the guy that's been preaching DN the past couple weeks. But the fact that they brought him in for a 30 visit, man, if you got a chance to get him, you make a way to get him. And I'm with Shawn. If that's the case, then we can work with what we currently have right now on the other side of the line in terms of DN, and we'll figure out a way to fill that gap. But if you can go get a Worthy that can just literally take the top off of defenses, man, look, I'm all for it. And if you can come figure out ways to have Velus Jones and Tyler Scott be contributory to this season with their speed and the things that they can offer to the offense as well, that's scary all by itself. Kedz, I'm with you with regard to, a DN, if that's possible as well. Don't know. You might get into a scenario where you have to use some next year's trade value, capital rather. Yeah, thank you. To move up and go and just go get your guys, man, and be done with it. Stop playing around with it, and just if you're gonna do it, commit to it, and do what you have to do to go ahead and solidify it this year. Since you're already doing it by going to get your guy a quarterback, get everything in place this year, man, and let's make this run.
Yeah, listen, no one's taking no one's using him on the first round. And Jose, go on there, get the Asa, come on. They're not taking Xavier Worthy with a first-round pick, Papa.
What the hell you just called him, man?
I was like, come on, bro. Like, bro, we're not taking him with a first-round pick. We're talking later, because we don't have very many picks. But if you can get him, later in the draft, I think it's good. No, definitely not a first-round pick. No, Papa. No.
Who, Worthy?
Hey, hold on, Chris. If you can take down this overlay, I don't need it to say what I got to say. You can take it down. Here's what I think is possible. Here's what I think the Bears are thinking at 9, because that whole thing is about what's going to happen at 9, right? The possibilities, a lot of people really want, I think the fans really want to see an edge. I think it's probably about 50-50. Fans want to see an edge. Half of us want to see a receiver. I'm going to say this again. I think the receiver class is too strong. It's too strong. If they ended up having to stay at 9, there's a very strong chance. I think here's what I think they might be thinking about doing. It's moving back up into the draft and grabbing Marvin Harrison Jr., taking some capital and moving up in the draft and grabbing Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what I think they might be really thinking, is if we don't want to miss the opportunity to get one of these receivers that we covet. Get this guy the weapon that we think fits best with him, get a young receiver. I think that needs to happen. If they don't do that and they're sitting there at 9, I believe they're going to take Dallas Turner if he's still on the board. Anybody want to speak to that?
Well, that's the latest thing is talking. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was just going to say my issue with Turner and the other guy from Alabama is, you got to get somebody who can set the edge. We think in terms of just pass rushing and get to the quarterback, and that's true. We do need that from both ends, but we need a guy that can set the edge. And I'm not sure those guys are big enough to do that.
He's stronger than he looks.
Well, Dallas Turner looks. And he's playing in the SEC.
He played in the SEC and not the NFL though. So, for those reasons alone, that's why I like, I like Verse. And has Verse come in yet? Do you guys know? I know he's not on that list.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that means they're going to draft him. So,
they drafted 30 visits last year. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So just so you know.
Well, I just think they need somebody who can set the edge. I think Verse can do that. I think Latu can do it too.
I keep trying to say that to kids. Kids ain't trying to hear it.
Why wouldn't I try to hear that? I want a defensive end either way.
You like Chop so much. I keep telling you.
I don't like Chop at all. I'm just saying I wouldn't be mad. I just want them to get a defensive end. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of poo-poos on Chop. I can see how he could be used, especially by Eric Washington, in a bit of a different role. So I wouldn't be upset with them if we wound up with a Chop Robinson at defensive edge rusher. I just wouldn't. Mind you, I think Verse is the best. I think Verse is the most Flus-like player available, and I would second that with Alatu. Right, those are the two guys I think that they should be aiming for if they plan to pick a DE at 9.
I think it's going to be a run on offensive tackles. I think after the quarterback humbug stops and those first 3 quarterbacks come off the board, I think it's going to be a run on receivers and offensive tackles. That's what I think is going to happen. And then,
but that's why I think, Nomad. That's why I think, and that's the latest. That's the newest buzz around town is trading back up to get Marvin Harrison Jr. because it's very possible and probable with JJ McCarthy, his stock rising fast, that the first 4 picks are quarterbacks, and if the first 4 picks are quarterbacks, man, now you go holler at the Chargers and be like, hey, we'll swap you a second next year, we'll go. You come back to 9, we'll go to 5. A second next year, give him 1 more pick, and then if you think Marvin Harrison Jr. is that dude, I see you can go up and get it.
So here's my
don't be surprised if it's Maliknabors too, man, because I wouldn't be surprised if they did it for either him or Maliknabors.
I'm not sure if they have to do that, and this is my big question is pick number 4 goes to Arizona. I don't see Arizona getting a quarterback here.
Yeah, but the word is Minnesota's got 2 first-rounders now that they're going to jump up and then
4.
they're going to jump up to 4. That's what I've heard.
Or jump up.
So they've already traded with Arizona to get the second.
No, they haven't made the trade, but that's the talk. Because they don't have a quarterback.
Well, yes, they have. They did already.
What are you talking about, kids?
They made a trade with Arizona to get the number 23 pick.
No, I'm talking about to number 4.
I know. I'm just saying they've already traded with Minnesota to get the number 23. Do you think they're going to now trade with Minnesota again? Sorry, with Arizona again and give them back the pick they just traded away?
Exactly.
It could happen.
It's just not likely, right? If I trade you my sandwich, are you going to trade me back my sandwich?
Well, not if you eat
if you have
just don't bite off.
Depends on how hungry I am. Leave it in the package.
Well, I don't want nothing to do with it now. I already gave you the sandwich.
Hey, I know one thing.
I don't know if you licked it. You know what I mean? I don't know if you
eat the sandwich. You'll never see it again.
I'm just saying it's a little less likely. I think Minnesota is going to trade back down to get a quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see them doing it at 4 because they've already made a play with that particular team, and that team's going to be less likely to take stuff from Minnesota unless we're talking about Justin Jefferson.
Talking about Justin Jefferson, what? He ain't going nowhere.
Ooh, I don't know, Shawn. I don't know, man. He might.
If they were to trade Justin Jefferson and rest of the stuff that they got to Arizona, that fills the quota and requirement for wide receiver, whereas they would likely be picking up a Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. Now, okay, yeah, all right, I'll take the sandwich with Justin Jefferson on the side. You see what I'm saying? I'll take the sandwich now. Now I'll take the sandwich. Even if you licked it. We got Justin Jefferson on the side. So like that works out. That would fill out the wide receiver requirement. And hey man,
Jay Grizz said you channeling.
No, he's channeling me. I'll just let you know that. He's channeling me.
Kids, your analogy that included the lick sandwich says something about your childhood. We get an apple.
Sandwiches as a kid. What are we saying here? Somebody like my sandwich? Is that why I didn't like sandwiches?
I don't know. Kids would ask us for a bite of the apple. We'd rub it on our butt and say, "Still want some?"
Yeah.
About my childhood. You're rubbing apples on your butt.
Mine was messed up too. I was messed up too.
I'm sorry.
You know what, man?
This went sideways. All this to say, sorry, no man. All this to say, maybe Arizona trades with Minnesota. We kind of had to work that out a little bit. And Justin Jefferson is the wide receiver that they pick. That would then put Minnesota in a fourth pick overall case scenario to get a quarterback. There goes your first 4 quarterbacks. And if that's the case, yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. would slip. Otherwise, I still expect Arizona to get a wide receiver. So somebody has to fill that requirement.
All right, guys, we're at the 1 hour and 4 minute mark. I want to save some juice for tomorrow, and I want you guys to know something. Pay attention to tomorrow's show, the thumbnail. I got some stuff I've been hearing about, man. We're gonna talk about that in earnest tomorrow. I'm not gonna say it. Just make sure you're here for tomorrow's show. But before we get out of here, Shawn, you want to give out some pleasantries before we go?
Sure. Sports owners and No Maniacs Unite. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel. We appreciate the numbers are steadily going up. I am grateful for it. Thank you very much. Please pass the word, spread the word, pass it on, and let everyone know. Please follow Sports Zone Chicago just like you're following the Nomad Network. It would be great. Other than that, guys, enjoy it. Beautiful day here in Chicago. I know it's a little overcast, but listen, just remember, life is about perspective, because you know what? There are millions of people who didn't wake up to see this overcast day. So just when you think it's bad, put the shoe on the other foot and be thankful. All right. We'll see you mañana. Great Bears talk with Kellen Davis. We appreciate him coming on. Great stuff from him. And I'll toss it to my man. There you go, Kedz. There you go, Kedz. I had to give you a little dish, like, oh.
Gave you the Magic Johnson no look.
That was the Euro step. I love it. Hey, No Maniacs. What's cracking? Chat's been popping. Super hype about Kellen Davis joining the show with us today. Thank you, Kellen. big appreciation from me and the rest of the team here. I would give shout outs to the chat itself, but we'll keep things moving here tonight. You'll get it tomorrow. I will say rest in peace to OJ Simpson. If you get a minute, go take a look at Naked Gun 2.5 opening scene. Super awesome, super funny. Just kind of gives you an idea as to who OJ Simpson was before White Bronco days, right? So in any event, rest in peace to the guy. Thanks, Kellen. Thanks, Kellen. And thank you, gents. Peace.
Hold on, Bishop. Bishop. I hope he's happier than he looks, man. Somebody stole your 2-piece and a biscuit or what, man? What's going on?
I'm good, brother. I'm all right. No, I'm good, man. No, I'm good, man. It's bright and sunny and 82 degrees here, so I don't have nothing to be upset about, bro. I just want to say thank you to all the No Maniacs and the sports zoners for, chiming in with us today. Again, just a little over an hour. We do appreciate it. Thank you again to Kellen for joining us on the show today. It was great to have him on. As always, I love chopping up with my guys here on the panel. We don't always agree, but that's the reason why we have this panel, and that's why we are free thinkers and we are able to speak our mind and give our opinions. I will say this to those to my loyal ones that always, paying attention. V-Dub, I hope you're safe out there in the D, brother, on that truck. My boy Stuart and Sophie in Florida, Rita and Felicia in Chi-Town, West Side, South Side, stand up, Chi-Town. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. But before I do that, I'm going to piggyback on what Shawn said. Make sure that you spend time with those that mean the most to you, because one thing for sure, tomorrow's not guaranteed to either one of us. So make sure that you make a mark, whatever it is, each and every day. You're blessed to be a blessing. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to my man, Chris. But peace out, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
I just want to tell everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us today. Special thanks to Mr. Kellen Davis, man. He was that's a big dude, man. And he seems like a real good guy. So we want to thank him for spending time with us. Hope we can get him back on. Everybody, don't forget to go over to Sports Zone Chicago and support Shawn and what he's doing, man. Great content and a great person. Kedz, Keith, Nomad, my guys, Brian in the back. Good job today, sir. Listen, everybody, bear down.
All right, man. You guys, I appreciate you guys for being here with us today, man. Love all the energy in the chat. And special shout out to Kellen Davis, who could have been doing anything in the world today, but he chose to be here with us. So special human being, man. I appreciate him for being here. And I appreciate my guy Brandon Trax for making that connection between us, man. So again, I appreciate Kellen Davis and Brandon for hooking that up. Let me say this to you guys, man. Protect your frequency. Stay at a high frequency. Protect your vibe. Anything beneath the high frequency is the muck and the crazy and the insane that the world, the underbelly of the world has kind of risen to the surface, man. Keep your frequency high. Stay up there with it, with your vibe, man. Just be a happy individual. Surround yourself with people that think positively, man. Anybody that's around you being negative all the time and their vibe is always hurting you, you can't stand being a man. Don't waste no time around them, man. Get out from around them, man. People that pull you down and pull your spirits down, man. Stay out from around that, man. You don't need it. Keep your frequency. Stay up there in high frequency, vibe high, man. And just be a good human being out there. I would just say that. But once again, thank you guys for being here. Look forward to tomorrow. On tomorrow's show, it's going to be a hell of a conversation tomorrow. So it's all about possibilities tomorrow. So, but before we get out of here, I got to leave you guys with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Peace, no maniacs. Bear down.
Shy City, stand up. Yeah.